who or what are three things that have influenced your outlook on life, whether it's historic, famous people or books, films, other art mediums?
So I guess in a book sense, I'll give you one of each. I'll give you
Cool.
a film, a book, and a person. So starting with a book. So in the whole process lately, I've just applying for my schools and like personal statements and writing, having to write that. Leading up to that, like I made a goal to like start reading more in general. And
Okay.
I recently read a book called Green Lights by Matthew McConaughey.
Okay. I've
So
seen that. Yeah.
so usually when books like that come out, like they're very overhyped, and I'm the kind of person that doesn't necessarily with anything in general, like whether it's music, TV shows, or just whatever. Maybe when people are overhyping it, I don't like to fall into that. Like I'll wait till it dies down, and I'll give my own take.
Yeah.
But once I read the book, it actually just put a lot of like the things into perspective in my life. And if you haven't read the book, just essentially to give you like a brief green light, essentially just the title of the book, essentially is a phrase that he's used for the green lights in life, like the opportunities you have to seize and like the things
Like go green. It's a green light. Go.
like the green light, or like it's a green light, like it's like this happened to you, so it's a green light, meaning it's a good thing that happened. It's
Mhm.
just he's comparing it's just more so explaining his like whole life and like where he knew where the red lights were, like where things like he did and just didn't amount and anything, or just weren't the path he was supposed to get, or the green lights that he did that led him to be the individual that he is today. And I respect Matthew McConaughey a lot because he's just very like he's always been a very big family man. He's just very well spoken. He understands. He
Mhm.
has a good head on his shoulders. It's like you're very I don't know. He's like you're very traditional, good moral man. So reading the book, it actually made me like. There's portions of it where he he talks about like his acting career and like the early on days where he's just like he explains like just different scenarios where had he not just decided to go about it his own way instead of the way people were trying to like shape him into doing,
Mhm.
probably would have not been the actor and like the individual he is today. So I kind of put it in perspective when I was trying to just do my things, like make my personal statement and all that, where I was trying to figure out like like the things I've done in my past life, or not my past life, like in the past where I I may have regretted it, but I can't take away from the fact that it made me to be the person I am today, and I love the person
Yeah.
I am today. And I'm probably and like
Yeah.
obviously there's always room for improvement, but it made me look at that. So the book really just hit home, and it just talked about like his whole family dynamic, and I loved it because I don't know, like I said, I'm a big family guy in the first part, but I love being able to reflect on things I've done or things I haven't done, and not necessarily regretting them all the time, but just more so understanding where like how that got me to where I am now, and just using that as a, like okay, like now moving forward, like I'm this person, so what's going
Yeah.
to be better for myself, like what's the better route. Film wise, film wise it's not necessarily like a big like life changer, but I do like my favorite movie of all time is Interstellar, which
People keep telling me about Interstellar.
so I do like Interstellar. It has Matthew McConaughey in it, which also is the reason it led me to read his book.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
So, yeah. So the movie Interstellar, have you seen it? If you have not, I say
No, it's on my like I don't see a lot of films, but that
so.
one keeps coming up that people are
Yeah.
saying. Yeah.
So I like to I've made it a habit to like try to watch a movie a day. I will
Oh wow.
because I like to just I'll do it like on my downtime, like when I'm eating
Yeah.
or just taking a break and stuff like that. Um, I do like Interstellar.
Okay.
It kind of touches base to like that side of me that not a lot of people like perceive me to be. Most
Okay.
individuals like they don't know that I'm really big into like sci-fi. That I like just anything that has to do with like space exploration or anything
Yeah.
scientific, whatever it may be. That's my favorite genre. But I like Interstellar just because it gives like a real world picture of just what future Earth could be like, and like the way people will go about it. But the overarching thing is just like it kind of just ties back to the whole idea of just like value what you have at the moment, because in an instant you can honestly lose it and you can get rid of it, and not get rid of it, but like it could just be taken away from you.
Yeah.
So I like it, but it also puts in like in a very like just outer space, like presence. So it's also it's pretty cool to look at. I highly suggest. It's a long film. It's like almost like a 3-hour film.
Okay.
I've seen the movie like about 14 times. So
Wow.
yeah, I love the movie.
Okay.
And then a figure, I'd honestly as common as this answer may be, I do look up entirely to my father. My father came over here when he was 22, and since then he's done nothing but work. He went from working at a local factory where he made jeans and he got paid $6.25 an hour to now he's an assistant manager at a very big roofing supply distribution company, and he also does roofing projects on the side. My father is a very, very straightforward man. He taught me everything I needed to know from a young age, just what it was to be a man, what it was to the idea of earning respect means you have to give it out. Like the respect you receive is the respect you give. Just an overall family man. Like he always put his family before himself. Was even him being just like the middle child, he's just, I believe he's looked at in my family as just like the go-to person whenever like family emergencies happen or like bad situations may occur.
Yeah.
Just I always look up to that because now it's being part of this big family. Like I want to be in that position. I want that my younger cousins and like my cousins of my generation to like come up to me whenever they feel like they have like some sort of issue that they can't talk to their parents about, or like now that they're growing up and they need like help, just even the tiniest things like, oh, just hey, I need help moving this, or hey, can you help me figure out what's wrong with my car, things like that. So
yeah,
I admire the fact that like with as a parent, as his own problems may be, he still puts those on hold to just make sure like the ones that he loves and cares for are situated or are in a good situation, because
yeah,
he's explaining to me that he's always been the kind of person that he knows how to get himself out of his own situations, but just extending the help to others sometimes
yeah,
assists him in figuring out his own problems as well. And that's been good. And I've done that something similar to that recently, just more so with now being one of the few that's gone to college and gone to college degree and like graduated from high school in my family. Now my younger cousins come up to me and like I make sure to have like, I'm talking about like I'm 24 and they're like 12, 10, like 13, like they're just starting to basically just live find themselves, live their own life at a respect from what they used to just be handed to by their parents. So it's nice to get like a FaceTime or like a call, and just like like them asking me like what should the next approach be, because then that makes me feel good, because it goes back to what I said about the whole first generation, me trying to figure everything out, but now I'm able to help them. And then another big thing is just like that my dad and he taught me to like embrace every like everything that is a part of me. And one thing that comes with that is this mental health, my mental struggles. So me being someone who's very open about it and very understanding compared to like a very traditional family, like the era that my father came from, because as evident as my father had his mental struggles, he just didn't have the time or just didn't have the effort to deal with them, because there was, and it was made apparent that there was something bigger afoot, in sense like taking care of his family and so forth. So for me now, it gives me the ability like just to help out my younger cousins and like anyone else in my family who has those struggles. So I make it like a safe space for them to come talk to me, because it's been made evident that sometimes talking to your parent coming from a first generation family is very hard, because it's something that is either not accepted or not understood. So
I could see that.
I respect my father a lot for that. He's just taught me to as like to always look out for your loved ones and always like make sure that at the end of the day, like they're doing well, because it promotes good wellness in myself, but never to lose sight of the fact that like you are your own person at the end of the day, and you can't spread yourself thin if you're not doing well yourself. So.
Yeah, that's a great answer.